Hello again, this is Chuck, and I was going to do another short video to introduce a little bit of functionality here. You notice I have this point at the ground. I do that for a reason. So as I was working on this, I was realizing how often, I want to grab a guitar, or want to grab an amp or something and work with it. And I was finding, man, it's really handy to have things on wheels. So let's pretend, hey, let's pretend that I want to work with one of these two guitar amps. And so they're on their own wheels here. Right? So I can move this, and I can grab this over here, and I can set this up. And notice what I have here is a handmade 1959 Fender Custom Shop Fender Twin Tweed with the Alnico speakers and so forth. So I can set that there, and then when I need to, I can take it and I can plug in over here. Oh, that's a whole other thing what goes on there. But then I can place the chair here, and I can work with whatever I want to and reach everything I want to. It's nice to have everything on wheels, and I got the strap that holds this. So, all right. That's very handy. Now, I've said before that being a musician and an artist, excuse me, is difficult, but it's really not that difficult. That really, the hard part of being an artist or a musician is being a guitar player, artist or musician, and doing everything else in life. That's the hard part, Alright, so roll this back out of the way here, which means that as a guitar player in my studio, I got to do everything else, which would include, but not be limited to, vacuuming the carpets when they need it, and cleaning the carpets and the like. And anyone that's ever done this knows that stuff that's sitting around gathers dust all around it and beside it, and especially in Nashville, which is kind of like the pollen capital of the world, certainly the allergy capital of the world. So, things get dusty real fast around here. So I noticed, what I could do, since I've been trying to maximize utility and functionality, like, hey, what I could do here is I can take, say for example, the acoustic guitars, right? And not only can I roll them to where I need them, I can roll them out of the way. So, take the guitar, do this. And I just roll this back here, out of the way. Yep, that was good. Alright, so, the problem with that is, I fill all that up. See, I can get that back there, and then the chairs and stuff like that, I get all that rolled out of the way. What am I going to do with all these guitar amps and anything else, right? It's kind of nice to have the floor available to clean and vacuum and not be, stuck with stuff. So, let me show you something. I decided what I was going to do. Here's a handy little gizmo, and this is where the power tools come in. So you just get some power tools out and make some sawdust and take some screws and screw some things together. Notice that I painted these blood red because there's a screw going through here and a screw going through here that pierces and comes out the back maybe 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch. And what this does is, we take this, we set it right there. And that makes a ramp into the kitchen. Right? Nice sturdy ramp, and like I say, I painted those things red so I don't cut myself to shreds on them. You can imagine that if you can, that's the other thing I've learned with, especially with working with the wood and screws, if you can snag it or drop it it's going to happen. So it's a little reminder, note to self, don't touch this end. So what I can do, sorry about that, is I can say, you know what? I can move that stuff out of the way. I can temporarily set in the kitchen so that this is a blank floor except for the rack and do the vacuuming. It's got to be done, right? The dust doesn't care that I want clean guitars. So there you have it. More power tools, sawdust, and screws.